guess what week it is? Yup, it is officially Valentine's week. It is Valentine's season. We are wearing red. Actually, are we wearing red anymore? Are we into that? I don't know. But welcome to Living with Us. I am Sharon Mundia. And today's show, we are getting dating advice. But get this, we're getting dating advice from the fellas. Yep, we've got two gentlemen with us today, and they are telling us the truth like it is. They are not holding back. Trust you me, you want to sit through this. Maybe grab yourself a cup of coffee because we go there, and they're not afraid to go there. One has been married for 18 years, happens to be a dad, is the founder of iVow, and is a chief relationship coach. The other is recently single. He is a comedian, an actor, and a script writer, amongst many things. We have got Emmanuel Gashanja and YY. Now I'm going to stop talking, and we can get to the show. So you have two very different relationship statuses, right? You've been married 18 years, excuse me, and you are single.
Yes.
And focused on your career.
Yes.
So who's happier? Are single people happier or married people happier?
I'd love to hear his answer.
Okay. Are you happy?
Yes, I'm happy.
Okay.
And I also can say that single people are happier than those that are dating, engaged, or married.
Uh-huh.
I think people can be happy regardless or irrespective of their statuses. It depends on what exactly makes you happy. There are so many people who are married and are not happy. That is why you hear a situation of, are you happily married? Are you not happy? Okay. Yes. So I think it depends on what you really want. You can be married and happy at the same time, as long as your needs are being accomplished. You can be single and not actually happy because you are doing the wrong thing while being single. Yes.
So ultimately it lies within self.
It lies, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I totally agree with you. That was a brilliant answer. However,
I knew there was a but. Yeah.
Statistics say that married people in life are way more content and way more happier than people who are single.
Okay.
Yes. And they live longer and all that. So yeah, consider marriage.
Also, you know, that's a good fact, but I've got another one here. Okay,
Yes.
I just don't have the numbers.
Yes.
But from a couple of things that I've read, I think more than half of marriages now end up in divorce. So is it that you're happy at a certain point or content? I mean, I've heard so many variations of that. Even married people ultimately are wealthier or make more money or are more, you know, likely to be successful. I guess because you have that accountability partner. But so how do you respond to that?
So actually now for that, I'll go back to now his point. Yeah. Unfortunately, what we do nowadays is when we get into marriage, we're looking for happiness from our partner. If you're not whole in and of yourself, if you're not deriving the happiness from yourself or from, you know, God or whatever, or your spiritual whatever, then you will struggle in your marriage, because the truth is you're marrying a very imperfect person and they will not fulfill the things that you need fulfilled. Yeah. So if you're looking for happiness from them, then there's a problem. So it has to come from within.
Right, right. I agree. And I think ultimately that's
what
I guess,
you say.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. So today's show is all about getting advice from you, fellas, because we've done a lot of shows about relationships, but I think most of the times we often have women on the show. So today's show, it's like we're getting dating advice straight from the horse's mouth, that being the men. We just want to hear what the dating advice is like. But first, I want to get back to your childhood, or however old you were, when you first had a girlfriend. How old were you when you had your first girlfriend?
I first had my first girlfriend. I was it's in 2011. 2011. From people are going to know my age. Yeah,
and now you've revealed so we can calculate. So you were. Yeah. You were.
I'm 28.
Okay.
Right now.
So in 2011 you were.
Yes, now do the math. I want to
Now
see
I'm
how
like,
good
math
you
is
are.
bad. Who's good at math? Are you better at me? So 2011 is
21,
almost like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
No, you were younger, like 11, 12?
Oh, no.
2011 is? Oh no, we're in 2020.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 9 years ago.
Yeah. So
He was
you're
about
21?
19.
Around 19.
Yeah.
Oh, 19?
Yes.
First.
Around 19, yes. I was in college. I was at the university. Second year.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Impressed. Okay.
That is when I had my first girlfriend.
Okay.
But then it didn't go nowhere.
Okay.
There was no, I was still young, I was still very immature. I did not know what are the attributes we are supposed to be looking at. I did not know where to move forward. I did not know where it was heading. So I can't even actually remember, I can't even remember their names, you know. Serious, yes. But that is the very first time I remember I had my first girlfriend.
Okay.
Yes.
How old were you, your first
So mine was in 19...
and you were?
I was 12 years old.
Oh,
I was 12 years old.
You started
in
young.
standard 6. Yes, yes. There was so much pressure. You know, guys had girlfriends, but it didn't end well like you. In fact, I asked her out today. Then the next day, somebody else asked her out. And yeah, they said yes. So I was totally heartbroken. Yeah, totally crushed. Yeah.
That's 12 years old.
At 12 years
heartbroken.
old. Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah.
So obviously, a lot has changed since your first girlfriend. And what are some of the things that, I mean, I guess 12 is, you were quite young, but what are some of the things that you know now, having gone through, I guess, a couple of relationships, I don't know how many, what are some of the things that you learned when it comes to how to conduct yourself in a relationship and what to look for in your partner? Yeah.
I have actually learned that it's not about you.
Okay.
Most of the time, it's not about you. Because sometimes when we come to relationships, we come with a fixed mentality that, you know, I want to be happy, and we look more in what the other person is giving more than what we are really giving. That is why even in relationships right now, you find out that most women really focus on whether their men are cheating, on who their men are with out there, instead of actually evaluating the relationship and asking themselves, is this man really happy to be with me? So it's not about you most of the time. We have to be in the other person's shoes for it to work. Secondly, I've also learned that there are some of my relationships that have failed thereafter, after my first relationship. And I realized that something that is very key as well is friendship. If you are dating somebody that is actually not your friend, most of the time you will be very fake with them. You don't want them to know when you do not have money. You don't want them to know your downs. So you'll be in a situation whereby your woman is only experiencing your highs and you're hiding your low moments. Therefore, when the mask is peeled, things would be very rough.
Yeah, someone's like, I didn't sign up for this.
Yes.
This isn't what I've been
So it's
seeing
not
the
about
last
you,
few months. Yeah.
and friendship is very important. Yeah.
Okay, I want to get back to friendship, but first I want to hear from you.
So for me,
Emmanuel.
I think the biggest lesson now, I've been married for 18 years. The biggest lesson I've learned is that first of all, as human beings, we are very, very, very selfish and very, very self-centered. So when we get this feeling, it's all about me, 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 and how I can do whatever that pleases me, and hopefully that you will receive that. In fact, a lot of people I see them make that mistake in dating. For example, I remember my wife and I, when we were dating, there were some spaces that I would take her to and think, man, I've put the whole world, you know, out for her, you know, so that I could impress her. And then I just found out that all that was not impressing her. All she wanted to do was spend time with me. So I think he's right in saying that it's not about you. Love, what I've learned about love is very selfless. Love looks to the interest of the other one. So it's important for me to think about her. What does she like? And create that moment for her. And for her to think, what do I like? And create that moment so that we are both receiving what we need. Yeah, and enjoying each other at the same time, especially in our dates. So dates have changed quite a bit. They don't have to be expensive. Sometimes you go to a fancy, fancy place and we'll share an ice cream, but the conversations that we have is what matters. Sometimes it's just going out for a walk, working out. Yeah. You know, we walk, and let me tell you, when you're done with that, you're so filled, you feel so full. Yeah. You can actually just sit and cuddle and you'll be okay. Yeah. You know? That
there's no need for
There's no need for, because you feel so much richer, so much fuller.
Right.
So it's important to understand what the other person likes, what the other person loves, what makes them tick, what makes them happy, what brings them to life. Yeah. And in the same manner, share the same to them. Yeah. And it's your hope that they will do that for you. But your primary whatever is to take care of them. Yeah.
Gosh, a lot of selflessness.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. So going back to what you said about, kind of wearing a mask and appearing one way and not wanting to really be seen. My question would, first, there's been a lot of memes going around about your first date should be in a swimming pool so that you can put her in the water, get that makeup off, the lashes off, the wig extensions off, so that you get to see the real her. So my question would be, when I'm coming and meeting someone for the first time, isn't it important to present a decent version of you? Not a perfect, but a good version of you, right? I don't want to come in my pajamas. I didn't brush my teeth because I didn't feel like it. And so I kind of dress up and look a certain way and act a certain way. So where do you draw the line between wanting to present yourself really well and knowing when it's good, when it's the right time to trust someone? From a man's perspective, do you want it straight away? Give me the real you? Or are you just like, let's wait till the... Where do you draw
I think what you are talking about, there's no problem with looking good, smelling nice, and presenting yourself the way a man is supposed to be. What I'm talking about is the deeper level. Your woman is going to be attracted to you, and your relationship is going to run based on what you sold to her. If you sell purity, you sell friendship, you sell the real you in the beginning, not in terms of dressing, but in terms of your conversation, in terms of what you believe in.
So let me ask this. Yes. In the first date, for instance, would you say someone should be open about, say, their debt, or, gosh, I've just lost my job, and that's the real me? Even though I'm like, gosh, if she knows I've lost my job and I don't have any money, will she still want to continue on the second date?
Not really. So you don't have to be an open... In the beginning, you don't have to be an open book. Okay. You have to be mysterious. There's so many things she's supposed to learn with time. Yeah. And that is why you're supposed to be friends in the beginning. So that if she's uncomfortable being with you based on what you're going through, what is really happening in your life, she's allowed to quit. Okay. But the truth is, present yourself nice. You have to have great conversations. You have to be a man. But you have to be mysterious.
But that sounds confusing.
Where do you... Let me... You know what happens? Let me break it down. The bigger problem that sometimes men do is, let's say today I made some money. I have like 200,000 shillings in cash. I have it in cash. And then my first impression, I want to show this woman how much I have. When I call this woman out on a date, I will not focus on wanting to date her. I will not want to tickle her mind. I will want to buy her. I will want to buy her because now I'll be flossing, I'll be talking to the waiters and waitresses the way I want because I'm a don, I'm a rich guy. So this woman, by the time she's going home, she already has created and elevated you to some point that you really do not belong. Okay. So the problem comes when you come and now tell her the truth, or when she sees the truth. But when, let's say you have this, your 200,000 bob, and for real, this is me, let me just go on a date, pay, be nice, do this. When your friendship grows, even if you lose the money, you lose it in secrecy. She doesn't. Secrecy? No, I mean, you have lost it without her knowing. Yeah. By the time you have put, this, it's when you make noise, people notice when you're quiet.
Oh, right, because you're like, what happened to that?
Yes, what happened?
Guy?
Yes.
The big
When
car,
she's used
the loud
to the
engine.
noise, when she's used to the noise, she will want the noise to keep her.
Yeah.
The noise has to keep her, because if you found her through money, then you need money to keep her.
You're a preacher.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you what I figured out. I agree with him about friendship. It's important to marry or look or date somebody who is your friend. I always tell people the person that you really need in life, the person is right around you. You probably spend so much time with them, and they know you, you know them, and that's who you really should look to, pursue a dating relationship. For example, for me, one of the biggest things is I always said, if I am first physically attracted to a woman, I will not date her. Because I always felt like I would be skewed, and that's what my focus would be. So when first impressions are very important, I always believe. So when my wife and I, how we met is she called a mutual friend of ours when I'd gone to visit him for New Year's. So, the way the guy was talking, I knew it was a chick.
Yeah.
So he gave me the phone, and in my deepest Barry White tone, hello.
Hello.
There was 6 seconds of silence, on the other side.
Okay.
Let me tell you. But the thing that she just brought back, the voice, I was just like, what? Who are you? Yeah. But we started our relationship based on conversation. So we didn't meet each other until after 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So after 6 months, I saw her, and I was just like, whoa, this is who I've been talking to. But by then, she had already had my heart.
Yeah.
So this was just now the package that came, because I loved the inside already.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, I think that is an interesting struggle or a space to navigate, knowing how much of yourself to reveal, how much to keep, when to say the truth, when to reveal this big thing. Like if you have children, maybe you're separated, should you be like, hi, my name is Mark, I have 2 children and I'm separated. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Do you want to sit down? Like, when do you start to reveal the truth so that someone from the onset has a chance to really decide and negotiate whether this is what they want for themselves? But ultimately, what I'm hearing from you is that you should trust your instincts and know when the right time is, and be constant. So nothing like, let me show off, and let the ego take a seat.
I think the biggest mistake that we make is we're not open. So there's so much we're hiding.
We're hiding. Yeah.
It's almost like this marketing strategy.
Yeah.
We present the flashy whatever, but we don't tell you this particular product has this that will destroy cancer. We'll give you cancer, whatever. We don't say that, right?
And I think social media has been a good way to even amplify this message.
Oh yeah.
And I want to touch on that, but we've got to take a break. I want to get back and let's talk technology as well and how that's shifted the dating space in this century. But we are going to take a quick break because we got to pay our bills. But we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We're at Parkin by Radisson, and I have got Emmanuel and YY here, and we are getting dating advice straight from the men. So listen up. I want us to move to technology, but before that, I just want to pose this question to you, YY. I want to hear your thoughts on this. When is the right time, if you are a single dad, for instance, when is the right time to bring that up? Is it on the first date?
Yes, it's supposed to be on the first date. Because even if you're a single mom or you're divorced or you're separated, you're supposed to say that on the first date. Because when you're dating somebody that is separated, it's very different from when you're dating somebody that is just starting their page afresh. Because they are coming with a lot of baggage, especially emotional baggage. Look at women that have gone through a lot in life. If you're seeing a woman that has gone through a lot in life, most of the time they will make you chase them so much because they have built walls around their lives because they are scared. It's very difficult for them to trust another human being. So most of the time they will make you chase them because they have gone through a lot and they haven't moved on, they haven't healed. And should you do anything that remotely reminds her of what she has been through, even when she had trusted you 100%, she's going back behind her walls and you're going to start afresh. So these are things that we have to, as a man, if you're separated, I have to know so that I know I'm going to deal with a lot of emotions or I'm going to start my page clean. So this is something that you have to begin with because it's very important. Should you keep quiet about it? My mentality, because we are dating for a long time, I have plans for future. There are plans that I already have. Especially when you're coming with children, for example, it calls for financial support, calls for financial stability. Therefore, when I'm planning myself, knowing that I'm dating somebody that is just themselves, and then later you come and tell me there's someone, now I'm going to get mad at you, I'm going to lose attraction, and a lot of things would happen. Probably we were meant to be. But now because you hid something that was very serious, I'm going to have a different perception or perspective about it.
So I asked that because I know you said earlier, it's important to maintain mystery, but that is not one of those things that ought to be mysterious. Okay, so let's move on to technology, because if we look back to how dating was for our parents versus what dating is today, like Valentine's Day 2020, there's so much that technology has brought about that has just completely overhauled the game. Do you think technology makes it better or worse when it comes to dating?
First of all, let me just say this. When you said our parents, you just made me feel so old.
No, I meant...
You know why? You know why? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But I'm just saying because I remember when we were dating, there was no phones, no cell phones. So we used to send each other, you know, mail. Finally, email came, and we used to send each other email.
No, I think even in high school,
I think it has changed. You know, I was sitting with a group of young ladies, and I was asking them, how's the dating scene? You know how it is. And then I hear there's this thing called Tinder. You know, you swipe left, swipe right. I'm just like, what? So it's not that old school thing. I walk up to a girl, and you know, you like them, and you pull your move. Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, will you talk to
so
me?
the mystery has been taken out. You know, we hear this culture of DM. He slid in my DM. She slid in my DM. You know, it's, I don't know. It takes away from that whole chasing, that whole. I feel like it does. It's
so you
made
think
it.
It's like a meh.
I think it's a meh. But on the other hand, it can be good. For example, like if I was dating my girlfriend in Germany, we can Skype.
Long distance,
we can Skype, and we can, you know, at least you get to see them. And you know, you can just, it's a little bit much more of a richer conversation. In that manner, I love, you know, I love technology. But the whole chasing thing,
it's taken the luster out of the game.
It has.
Your thoughts, YY?
About technology, it has really affected both positively and negatively. Instagram, for example, I was just checking the other day how much time I spend on Instagram, and I realized that I spend so much time on Instagram than I spend hustling.
More time on Instagram than
yes, even when you're hustling, you're still on Instagram. Most of the time, if you've ever realized, sometimes you would quit Instagram to go back to Instagram. Home, then Instagram next. You see? And looking at this, I have gone through a situation whereby I have fought with my ex-girlfriend because she posted something that that didn't augur well with me. We have fought about me doing something on social media that she did not like, that created a different perception. So I think social media, and with the DM thing that you're talking about, I'm a comedian, and I make people laugh. And there's so many people, both men and women, in my DMs praising me, praising my content and stuff. But women, and of course there are people who are crashing on me as well. So most of the time I have had instances whereby we are fighting about people texting people every time, oh, this and that, you know. It brings a lot of insecurity. So there's a lot of insecurity that has been created, and a lot of time wastage and focus that has shifted. Because look at a scenario whereby me, if I'm spending time with my woman, I don't touch my phone. That is what I believe in. I don't touch my phone because when I was away, I had all the time to fiddle. I had all the time to scroll Instagram, look at Facebook. But there are situations whereby we are sitting like this. Everyone is on their phones. Everyone is on their phones.
You see that so many times at restaurants.
Everyone is on their phones.
You walk into a restaurant and look at how many couples are at some point just scrolling.
So social media has, in a way, affected the level of attention. It has stolen attention from us people.
You know, I think in the last year or so, I've sat down with two women, two different instances. Both have been married for 40 years. And I don't know if it was on camera or off camera, but I was asking, like, so why do you think relationships don't last as long now? Because to hear someone's married for 40 years is becoming more and more an anomaly. And both of them, separate instances, they don't know each other. They both said that they're not sure how exactly to explain it, but they think the phone has a lot to do with why relationships are not exactly where they used to be. And I guess in many ways you were talking about technology, because it has access to, you know, just more conversations. You start to look like, what is my couple friend doing? Look how happy they are. Someone slid into my DM. So how do we, what's your advice when it comes to technology? Because you can't avoid it, especially in your career. And even you just started a YouTube channel, for instance. Like, you can't say, I'm not going to be on technology because I want this relationship to work. What is your advice when it comes to that?
You just have to set boundaries.
Okay.
It's very difficult, but you really do. I'll give you a good example. Allow me to be authentic.
Yeah.
I remember one day my wife telling me, you know what, you need to get married to that gadget because you spend so much more time. That's like your second wife.
Yeah.
And by the way, she was so real.
Right.
It was so real. I mean, the moment I get to the house, I was not necessarily on any social media site. I love sports, so I'll follow all the sports news and stuff. You know, it comes easier than on TV. I mean, TV, you have to wait until a certain time to watch sports. So on the phone, I can get it like right here. News, I can get it from every corner of the world. So I'm constantly on my phone.
Yeah.
There's constantly emails coming in. You have to respond to them. So I was spending more time on that. And then when my kids started saying, in fact, my kids, they came and did an impression of me. And they sat on the couch and they were like, I'm doing the daddy. And I was just like, oh, man.
Oh, wow. Big reality check.
So I was just like, that really got me.
Yeah.
So now, more than ever, it's important for me to be conscious about how I am around them. Even how I'm around, you know, other people. Imagine now talking to people. I do marriage coaching, and then the phone keeps ringing. And then, what did you say again? You know, we are very distracted. So it's important for you to say, you know, like if I'm in the middle of a conversation, I'm turning this off. Whether it rings or not, I'm not picking it up.
Because you're focused on this.
I'm focused on the conversation.
To your statement about boundaries, is it ever okay to snoop? To check someone's phone? To be like, how many DMs did he get this week? Okay, he responded to how many? Keeping count.
Let me say this. When you're dating, you have no business looking in there. But once you're married, I think both of you have to be very open.
Open with your passwords?
Open with everything.
Okay.
I mean, I'm talking about not just the phone. I'm talking about your bank accounts. Everything about, like, because you said we're becoming one. In fact, the vows say, you know, for better, for worse, blah, blah, blah. So with my body, I honor you. Everything that I am, I give to you. And all that I am, I share with you.
Although I feel like some people are like, except for my passwords, okay?
I know.
No, ma'am, you are not getting past my passcode.
The moment you have something to hide is the moment that you are creating for yourself also an issue. Because if I have this and my wife doesn't have access to it, now imagine when we are struggling in our relationship and this young girl who's she's listening to me, and you know, and I end up emotionally attached. In fact, most marriages actually go through that. You'll find that, especially WhatsApp, a lot of people are chatting via WhatsApp. It's easy. Okay, I'm not cheating. I'm not there with the person. But I am emotionally leaning on this person. This is an emotion that you're supposed to give to your spouse. So in marriage, I'd say you need to be open, and I'm not even like budging about that.
Why?
But dating?
What are your thoughts?
It's actually not nice to go through somebody else's phone.
Okay. Married or not, you should not get a password.
Yes, it's not nice to no, not in that regard. It's not nice. For example, she leaves her phone and then I check where she's looking, then I go through and find out something. Yes. But most of the time we forget. We prioritize somebody's privacy so much that we forget when they are messing the relationship. I prioritize so much not going through your phone, whether you're messing the relationship or not. You understand? Because by the time I'm going through your phone, you have given me a reason to. If the relationship is very secure and you have nothing to hide, I have no business going through your phones. So I think it starts with you. You have to be of clear conscience so that somebody has no business going through your phones. But by the time you're feeling an urge, there is a problem. And it's not, I understand, of course, there are small cases, little cases, a few cases of just insecurities. But by the time you're feeling the urge and I really want to look, because you might be chilling with your girlfriend and then you see her on WhatsApp. And then, sometimes you can be very far but watching and you're very keen. So when you approach, they press home and then such kind of things you will tell yourself.
In that
there's something,
case,
yes.
Is it okay to go through someone's phone? Do you think it's a yes or a no?
It's not okay. What I'm saying, it's not nice to go. It's offensive.
Okay.
But situations might force you to do it.
To do that.
But it is not nice.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so now that we're still talking technology, we live in an era of showcasing, of kind of putting our lives out there. Hashtag couple goals, relationship goals, and that's kind of dominated a lot in our society and the age that we're living in now. What are your thoughts about dating and kind of putting it out there that you are dating, showcasing, your partner?
Well, I think it's preference. It's preference. I might decide to put mine private. I might decide to put it out there. But what I know is that we as a public, we are not supposed to think that those people are going through experiencing heaven on earth. Because what they are showing us, if you look at an Instagram video, 1 minute, you've only seen 1 minute of 24 hours. You've only seen 1 minute of their lives. And of course, if they're putting it out there, they will not air their battling. And they're not going to say, today we fought, and I hate you so much, you cheated on me. They're not going to do that.
Yeah. So I mean, does it have an impact? Do you think even airing, Emmanuel, do you think it has an impact on your relationship? If you do choose to put it out there, do you think it impacts your dating life?
I think it does a great deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I've sat with so many couples in my space, and a lot of them are trying to maintain the appearances they've already set up. So they're not free to, I mean, you've put everything out there and you've put this certain, image that people are seeing you as. And then you struggle. In fact, a lot of people are still in relationships because there's an image we have to maintain that everybody knows. In fact, the more likes you get, the worse it becomes, because that's a high. It's a high for you. Yeah, it's a high for you. So I don't encourage it. I always ask, what's your why of doing it? I've learned now, the only things that I'll share, especially with regards to my wife, if it promotes marriage or it promotes, what we're doing together, with regards to impacting lives of people. So that's the only time I purpose now to post. Every once in a while, for the family, I try to keep my Facebook very small, so that it's just my family and my close friends. So I can put my family, whatever photos there. On Instagram, never.
I have to say, especially in this era, I'm of the same. I'm of a similar opinion, but you should kind of just keep it to yourself, especially if you're just dating. And I think if you've hit 20 years, 30, if you've got like something under your belt, like, hey, we've been at it for a while, let me just share what we know and we've learned over the years. I think that's worth talking about. But if you're just dating, I would advise, like, maybe just keep, even if you're just married a couple years, just like keep it to yourself.
You know what's interesting? The longest standing Hollywood marriages are the ones that are not in the limelight. The ones that end up in 2 months, 3 months, guys are breaking up, like, huge divorce issue, are the ones that are in the limelight.
Right.
So I think there's something that they've
there's something.
It also brings a lot of comfortability. People become very comfortable because by the time you have placed me out there as a woman or as a man, people know that we are dating. Therefore, I have already captured you. I've already taken you, and you're going to be. This is now collateral. Putting it out there is now collateral. It means this is what our relationship is based on. We are not going to break because people are going to say this. People are going to do this. So most of the time, after all, I don't have to work so hard because attacking niwacha, I was in niwacha because of what the public think about this. I don't have to put a lot of effort. But you know, when you are just the two of you handling this thing privately, people will tend to put a lot of effort.
Right, we've got to take another quick break. You have just preached, that's a sermon and a half on it. We'll be back in a moment, ladies and gents. Welcome back, everybody. We are talking about relationships, but we're getting advice and tips from the men. And I want to ask you, I think if you've ever been on Twitter, you know, in the last couple of years where Kenyans on Twitter are just honest, real, and out for blood sometimes. And the conversation of like women these days are like A, B, C, D. And there's a kind of, you know, there's now a kind of revolution when it comes to the woman and her role in society. Do you think, what kind of impact does that have on men today in the dating space and what they're looking for versus maybe 30 years ago when the conversations around the woman and where she's placed was very linear? Do you think that's changing the way that men are approaching women and conversations of dating are taking place? What do men look for in a woman?
Wow. I'll have to say there's quite a bit that has changed. You know, back in the day, you're looking for somebody who will give you a huge family. Now, not necessarily that. Back in the day, you're looking for someone who can take care of the home well, who comes from a good family. Now, not so much. But in as much as it has changed, it hasn't changed.
Okay.
Because at the depth of a man, what you're looking for is someone who can support you in whatever it is that you're doing. Somebody who can take care of you. You're looking for a companion you can do life with. So in as much as it has changed, yes, it hasn't changed. Because at the depth of it, you're looking for the same things that that person was looking for. It's only that now the woman has a different role, so you have to figure out how does this fit in with who I am and where I'm at. How do I deal with the fact that she's probably earning more than I do? How do I deal with the fact that, you know, she's probably has a better job, more authority? How do I deal with the fact that she actually has a voice? And, you know, unlike back in the day, my dad, you know, mom didn't have a voice, but now the woman has a voice, and it's a huge voice. And she can speak, she has her thoughts, she will share it, and she's not scared to share it. So how do I deal with that? So in as much as it has changed, you know, somehow it hasn't changed. It's just now figuring out how do you deal with this now new empowered woman that is...
the 21st century woman, Why?
Well, it depends. I can't speak for men in general because there are men that are looking for different things, other men look for different things. The very first, and I will not lie to you about this because I know what I want as a man, the very first good-looking woman.
Okay.
Very first, yes. You have to be good-looking to maintain the attraction. For real.
Okay, I have questions about that.
Ask first, then I'll continue. Ask first, then I'll continue.
Okay. So, if looks is of high priority, because you said it's the first, what happens 30 years down the line, 3 babies down, breasts are not sitting where they were, you've probably added some weight or not, things change. Your hair isn't exactly what it used to be. What happens then, 30, 40, 50
she
years
will
down?
Still be good looking at that level.
But people change. That's not guaranteed.
No.
That's the one
it depends.
thing.
No. You know, good looking. You know what is good looking to him is not good looking to me.
Yeah.
That's what you have to understand.
Okay. So, but what if you?
So I have to find it good looking for me.
Okay. So for you.
Yes.
For you, because this is really just. I want to understand why.
Yes.
Not men in general. Just why
yes.
now. If right now your definition of a good-looking woman is slim, for instance, and 30 years down the line, she's just been like, listen, me personally, I just love my chips, okay? So I've just been indulging. What happens then if there's a shift? Because that is so it's subjective, but it's also it's hard to control.
No. You cannot go against what you cannot control.
Yeah.
You only live within what you can control.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. How will I even find myself calling her on a date or to find out how brilliant she is before I really want to be with her?
Yeah, but for wait, that's number one on your list. That's
number one. And you know why? Because men, we are optical. Men, we are here.
I mean,
this is our main point of sin.
I think women are too. We kind of are interested in how someone looks.
Yes.
But number one, like beauty, you know, beauty.
But for me to be able to have a conversation with you, I must have checked you out. I must have found out that you dress well, you can carry out yourself in a decent manner.
Okay.
You know.
So what happens?
That contradicts the friendship aspect that you were
No. No.
You only have
for me to
let me
tell you something. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
For me to move on with you on another level, I must be satisfied first.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a situation whereby I'm not satisfied with you. I don't want to be ashamed of you. For real. For real.
No, and I love your honesty. I have to say, I love your honesty.
And every time when I pray to God, I ask God, you know very well what I want. She has to be good looking, intelligent, hardworking.
Okay, so what happens?
Yes.
What happens 30 years from now?
Yes.
Even your definition of beauty has changed.
Yes.
Or it stayed the same.
Let me tell you why.
And she's shifted. Does it mean
no.
that
Am I not shifting?
Yeah,
will I not be shifting?
Exactly. So
Like,
will you move with her?
No. What happens is this. You know, looks are things that we can maintain. Those are things we can maintain. It goes with maintenance. Maybe let me just give you a scenario. You have met a woman today. She looks very nice. She dresses so well. And then once you into the relationship, she gets very comfortable with that. She starts wearing baggy t-shirts. She starts neglecting themselves. You know, there's the point of this is very natural, but she's trying to look, she's trying for herself. That is nice. But when she decides to neglect herself, how are you going to be loved when you don't love yourself?
So, okay.
How is somebody else going to love you if you don't love yourself?
Allow me to interject.
Yes.
Now, there's this theory that I share. I call it the Emmanuel G theory. Yes. And it's about what happens in marriage. Now, we all have a default setting. Now, every single person, this is not how I am at home.
Yes.
You know, at home I probably have some tattered shorts and, you know, the t-shirt that I like that I've worn for 3 days and it hasn't been washed yet. And if a woman was to come into the house, they'd probably be like, hey, no, maybe I don't want to hang out with this person. And that's your default setting. Hold on, that's your default setting. Just like for that woman, let me tell you about, especially an African woman, there's something about her hair. She has to wrap it so that it doesn't get messed up, all right? The dress that she wears, most of the time, she's not comfortable with it. There's something called Spanx that they're wearing. You know, they put on those heels. They're so uncomfortable to impress you that the moment they say, I do, they get to this place called the exhale moment. The exhale moment is where, you know, like when you come from a party, you know, and then you just take off the Spanx, you take off the bra, and you take off the makeup, and you're, finally. So if beauty, based on what she presents outside, is the number one thing, my brother, you're in for a shock.
No. I think we are misunderstanding one another.
Okay.
Even you.
Yes.
For you to be married, for you to start, you found her attractive. Yes. True or false?
I did. I found her attractive.
Yes. There's something you saw. Before you went to what is inside, there's something you saw about her.
No, but I shared my story.
Oh, yes. You shared the story. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes. But now, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that when the explanation you're giving is very different from what I'm talking about. Let's say, for example, I'm just a decent man, I'm doing things right, and then into the relationship, let's say I get into addiction, for example, alcohol, for example, or drugs, for example. Now, all of a sudden, I have unkempt hair. I show up to meetings looking, how you talk about it, I can do nothing about it. I'm telling you, accept me the way I am. Are you going to stay?
No. I think that's different.
Yeah,
that is what I'm talking about.
But I think that's different.
That is what I'm talking about. I'm not saying
is
that is what
different.
Yes, No.
Addiction and beauty, standards of beauty, and even what you said about
and if you really
is easy to maintain.
If you really understood what I said, that what is beautiful to you
is different.
Yes.
Yeah, but true. But
so she has to be exactly what I want.
But my question here
so
is
probably
how you can't maintain beauty.
So the question, my question is,
yes,
is the beauty, you know, she has to have her eyebrows a certain way, lashes a certain way, skin fair, you know, whether she's a
what happens
or whatever. Is that beauty to you, or are you talking about inner beauty, or?
I don't think he's talking about
I think you people are misquoting or misunderstanding me. I didn't even mention the word beauty anywhere. I said for me, first of all, to want you on the very first day, you must be attractive. To me.
So let me ask this.
You have to be good at looking.
Why?
And once, let me tell you something, once something is good looking, it doesn't change.
No, that's
it's good looking forever.
No.
This, yes,
that is a false statement.
No, wait. If you're a handsome man, listen, just listen. If you're a handsome man, you're a handsome man.
Why? That is a false statement. No, you can't.
You can't
Life
change
can.
that.
Can I say? No. Can I even give you an example? I could be the most stunning woman, 100 most beautiful, top on the list woman in the world. Next year, I could have a horrific car accident. And suddenly my face changes. I could have a stroke, and suddenly my face changes, and I can't. What happens? Why? No. But you just said attraction.
I swear.
You said once you're attractive, you're always attractive.
This is the question. Yes. Now that is when it goes to the next. And I told you very well, for me to take it to the next level. It means by the time we're at the next level, we have truncated the first level. Yes. We are now on another level. On another level requires different form of thinking. And you asked very well, what do you look for? It means I do not have you. You are not my woman at all. But I'm looking for first attractive. And then now you're attractive. I can have a conversation with you. Now let's move to the next level. We can be friends. Yes, we can be friends. You compliment. You bring the balance. Let's move forward. But what I was talking about level. That's why we were misunderstanding one another. I was talking about level 1.
Okay.
I was talking about level 1. And what is in level 1 is not applicable in level 2 or level 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's okay. That was okay. So now what's level 2? Yeah, now I hear you. Now I hear you. Yeah. I just thought like even 30 years from now I better find you attractive. Otherwise I'm on to the next. Will dominate. Yeah. Companionship, understanding.
Have you ever been watching a movie whereby a woman is very beautiful when she does other characters, but when she's given a negative character like a murderer, you don't find her beautiful? Have you ever noticed that?
Another character.
For example, if a woman is given, is starring as the good woman with a good heart, you find them very beautiful. But when she's given another role, where now she's a murderer, she's what, you don't find them attractive. True or false? Even from the movie. Even when you're
I
just
think
watching.
she's still attractive.
I know.
Scared of her.
I know.
She's like, wow, she's good to look at, but don't go close.
Yeah.
Like,
But no,
I think she's still attractive.
You overlook her beauty now. You overlook. When now she's a mother,
I think Hollywood completely overshadows even that. I think they could make a villain still look so beautiful that you're just like, hey, I may not marry you, but can we hang out?
But if they can make somebody that looks very nice, pathetic to you. Because of the role they have given them. And that role in daily life is what we really are. So once you cross the first step, you move to the next step.
So very quickly, what are the other levels for you? Besides attraction, what falls in the other levels?
The other level for me is men, we want to be respected. We want to be at our place.
Now that should have been number 1.
Okay. What is your place?
How will I get respect?
Wait, what is your place?
I can't get respect if I do not know you. Okay? Now that was knowing you, now we move to the next level.
Okay.
You have to be a respectful woman. Respecting yourself, respecting people, and respecting me as a man. We have had instances whereby you and your woman, you're competing for some form of leadership. A man has to be the leader. That is something we have to accept. Women have to accept that they cannot be men and they will never be men. They have to be at their place. Does not mean that the man is supposed to oppress the woman. Just that the woman has to know that this is my man. I have to respect him as a man. There are things I cannot say. I cannot start banging tables. I cannot hit doors and bang doors and, you know.
Can the man do that if that's his place as a leader?
Can the man?
Can the man do that?
Respect is mutual.
Okay.
It's mutual. I'm supposed to give you exactly what I want you to give me. Okay? And that is why I say it is not supposed to come from a point of oppression. Because if I'm telling you not to hit doors and then I'm doing it, then it means I'm oppressing you. Na kunyanyasa, which is not supposed to be the case. But the problem with nowadays, especially with this feminism thing, and most feminists are misunderstanding what feminism really is. You're supposed to be fighting for women, not fighting against men. And most feminists, they say, oh, we can't do without. You need men. As a woman, you need a man.
Wait, who are these feminists? The feminists I know say nothing about
look,
that.
Say, oh, we can do without this man. All men are... And there are feminists who say all men are dogs and they are dating. And they are dating men. So my question is, why are we contradicting ourselves? So you have to let a man be the man.
But that statement in itself, I think, is troublesome because the narrative that we have of the man in this society often is tied to some form of physical abuse, alcoholism, kind of not allowing the woman, you know, having the woman be in her place, and often that place is in the kitchen. Don't speak up. I make the decisions. End of story. Dare you even look at another man? I'm supposed to make more money. I think that narrative is troublesome. When you say let a man be a man in a society that has often put the woman down, I have questions like what does that mean? Let a man.
You know,
be a man?
I think just maybe to respond to that, and I actually agree with you. Unfortunately, over the years, we have associated the leadership of a man with oppression of a man.
Of the woman.
Of the woman, sorry. The man oppressing the woman. And I feel like that has come from brokenness. I feel like that has come from, you know, brokenness of humanity. That's not the way it's supposed to be. I think even when we go to the Bible, which I strongly believe, you know, is the foundation of everything, the Bible says the husband is the head of the wife, all right? But in Ephesians, it says that, you know, husband, love your wife like Christ loved the church. That means a lot of sacrifice. That means a lot of selflessness. It means being gentle. It means covering their shame. You know, it means protecting and watching over them. It means providing for them. All these are actually very good characters. So we as husbands, or rather we as men, have actually failed in that and have caused the perception that is there in society.
And now, trauma.
And trauma. And also, in saying that the husband is the head of the wife, we've also made it as if the wife is no good, should stay at home, and you know, just do that. It's interesting. We like to quote, you know, I want to be the Proverbs 31 woman, you know, and stuff like that. But if you read what the Proverbs 31, first of all, the title God gives for the person that he's creating for the man is the helper. The only other time he says that is when he's when he's sending the Holy Spirit, which is the power of God. Meaning, when God was giving you this woman, if you read the Proverbs 31 woman, she's a true hustler. I mean, by the time she's done, the husband has been praised at the, you know, at the whatevers of the gates, you know, the gates of the city, because of how amazing and the things that she does. She brings profit to the home. She goes and gathers stuff. She knits and makes wool. You know, so the woman is not like less than a man. In fact, the woman has so much power, you know, that will complement the man. Now, the man has to take his place and the responsibility to be able to harness that and make their family grow and prosper as a result.
You know, I'm so sad because we're out of time, and yet I feel like we are just beginning to delve deep into this, because it's something that has led to a lot of fights, not even just conversations, because conversations are good, but fights, and you can see it online and offline as well, as two people try and like battle with this, and a lot of that is programming from our society, from our families, but there's a revolution because the woman that probably raised you as a man is not the woman that you're meeting when you're out dating, because she's quite possibly the CEO of the highest earning or most profitable company in the country, in which case, how does that destabilize things? But I want this to be, I want for this to have a part 2, is what I'm trying to say, where we come back and we delve deeper into this conversation, because I think it's worth picking and pulling apart to try and understand how best to date in an era that is unlike what, say, was there 40, 30, even 20 years ago. But we're out of time.
Oh.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so honest and sharing your personal experiences and your thoughts when it comes to dating. Wow, I wish we had more time, but we are out of time. That being said, we will be having a part 2 of this conversation. Hopefully we'll have the 2 gentlemen with us next time, and maybe include even more people, maybe even have it a debate and have women there as well. But for now, we're gonna have to love you and leave you, say goodbye. But we wish you a great rest of the week, and please stay tuned, because this whole week we've dedicated it to Valentine's. It's all about love, and we've got all sorts of fun shows lined up. So stay tuned, 9 a.m. every Monday to Friday. I'll see you there. Bye, everybody.